All right, guys, you should be hearing me now. I am streaming a little early because we're all here. And you're here. I see you guys. I see you. And I wanted to give you just a little bit of news and stuff like that until we really kick off on the hour. I don't want to start with the real full-on thing until the hour, but I figure it's a nice little opportunity to give you a quick news update. Drudge reports. Omar Ilhan Omar vows to be a nightmare for Trump. New York Post reports Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota responded defiantly Thursday to Trump telling her to go back and his supporters chanting, "Send her back." She told reporters at the Capitol that she believes the president is a fascist and cast the confrontation as a fight over what this country truly should be, which is right. "We are going to continue to be a nightmare to this president because his policies are a nightmare to us. We are not deterred. We are not frightened," she told a cheering crowd that greeted her like a local hero at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. She flew in from Washington, D.C. The New York Post falsely accuses Trump of racist rhetoric. Here's what RINO said about the wonderful chant, the wonderful "send her back" chant. I may ask Joel to dig that up from the Jesse Lee Peterson show. I'm going to steal clips from the Jesse Peterson show. But the wonderful crowd in Greenville, North Carolina shouted, "Send her back." And here's what the RINOs said about that wonderful chant. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California declared that the chant has no place in our party and no place in this country. Whatever. Representative Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, presumably a Republican, tweeted that it was ugly, wrong, and send chills down the spines of our founding fathers. "This ugliness must end or we risk our great union." I think these Democrat women would send chills down the spines of our founding fathers, but Representative Mark Walker of North Carolina, so-called conservative, I don't know much about him, but he called the chant offensive and was among about 10 House GOP leaders who had breakfast Thursday with Vice President Mike Pence at Pence's residence in Washington, D.C., fretting over the chant. Idiots. And New York Post falsely writes that Trump's criticism of Omar included a false accusation that she has voiced pride in Al-Qaeda. I don't think it's false. I saw the clip, and she looked like she was a little bit proud of it. And Drudge reports that Pew thinks that 91% of Democrats see violence coming. And the president did say that the rally crowd, and I have a clip coming up for you, were incredible patriots. The rally with the wonderful chant that the media is so upset about. A day after he distanced himself in order to oblige those Republicans who were whining to Vice President Pence, reportedly. And he was called out for Christians, oh Lord, for using the Lord's name in vain because he used the term GD, only he said the real word. There's a time to cuss, I think. And I don't really blame him for cussing. I mean, he's a New York liberal. So anyways, and there is some other news out there. I haven't looked a lot into it, but the Iran forces hijacked a British oil tanker, and Britain is like talking about serious consequences. Oh gosh. And is a new U.S.-led war against Iran coming? I don't know. Drudge reports that Trump says of A$AP Rocky, release him ASAP, and he's talking about some foreign country, a Scandinavian country, I think, where A$AP Rocky, apparently this young rapper guy, committed a crime, got in jail, in trouble, and Trump is working on getting him out. That's nice. I don't know a lot about that. If you do, you can comment on it. Let me know. But we're going to kick off with the show. So thank you guys for joining early. This has been Hake News, and I'll be back soon with the Hake Report.
President Trump, you said you were unhappy with the chant. However, the chant was just repeating what you said in your tweet. Do you take that tweet back?
You know what I'm unhappy with? I'm unhappy with the fact that a congresswoman can hate our country. I'm unhappy with the fact that a congresswoman can say anti-Semitic things. I'm unhappy with the fact that a congresswoman, in this case, a different congresswoman, can call our country and our people garbage. That's what I'm unhappy with.
So you're not unhappy about the chant?
Those people in North Carolina, that stadium was packed. It was a record crowd, and I could have filled it 10 times, as you know. Those are incredible people. Those are incredible patriots. But I'm unhappy when a congresswoman goes and said, I'm going to be the president's nightmare. She's going to be the president's nightmare. She's lucky to be where she is, let me tell you. And the things that she has said are a disgrace to our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
Love it. So nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Good morning, guys.
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, hey, guys, I'm James Hake of the Hake Report. It is Sunday, July 21st, 2019, and you can call in 888-775-3773. Some of you have already gotten in. Appreciate it. And by the way, this week, it was my birthday on Wednesday, and so thank you very much, guys, for the cards and everything else. Birthday wishes, presents, all that stuff. It was cool. Very nice. I appreciate it. And thank you, too, for retweeting and sharing the show. I appreciate that as well. I am streaming live on my channels on every Sunday on YouTube, dlive.tv/The Hake Report. Shout out, guys. Periscope, Mixer, and Twitch. And I don't believe that I'm on Facebook. I can just double check that real quick. Because Facebook is censoring... Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Facebook is censoring Jesse Lee Peterson for so-called hate speech. And it just so happened that my account was the one that was hooked up streaming onto the Jesse Lee Peterson Show Facebook page. Still a great page. Check it out. Some very interesting responses to Jesse Lee Peterson's biblical questions on that page. And we also share other stuff. So be there. If you don't have a Facebook account, make one just so you can like the Jesse Lee Peterson Show Facebook page, Ball Under Building the Man Facebook page, the Hake Report Facebook page, and then just ignore the rest of Facebook. And, of course, the Fallen State. So, audio recordings of this show, because I don't have an audio stream at this point set up for my personal show, only on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. So audio recordings do go up on podcast platforms after the show. I'm on iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud. So just FYI. So my topic is, you may have seen my title, Are You a RINO? And RINO means Republican in name only, if you're even a Republican or whatever. But the point of it is to put it in less political terms. It's interesting that I put it in political terms. But it's just because I think I deal with a lot of political news. But are you a fake Christian if you're a Christian? Are you a fake, a phony? Some people call me a fake or a beta. I don't mind. It's when they slander or libel that I ban them or delete their comments. But there's a lot of whites who are weak. And President Trump is not one of them. We played it. Maybe he used to be weak. He used to be weak for women. But anyways, a lot of whites are weak, and this is White History Month. Shout out everybody. Everybody can celebrate and should celebrate White History Month. Appreciate white people, especially the white people of the past. And the ones of the present, just, hey, stop being beta. Because it's time for an awakening, which is happening, so that's nice. But we need more awakening. By the way, no talk about blacks today from me. You guys can, but I'm not. This is day 3. I skipped Saturday, so Saturday doesn't count. I started on Thursday, I believe, after my birthday. Thursday, Friday, Sunday is today, day 3 of my not talking about black people week. Somebody's going to donate. one of the guys who thinks I'm racist or something. So, anyways, lots of times you know what's right, but then you cave, make up excuses under pressure. One of the pressure things that doesn't people don't always notice as pressure is when people ingratiate themselves with you or catch you off guard, and then you go along with something you don't actually agree with or don't think that you actually agreed with, but it turns out you kind of do. I think that's what happens with these RINOs that we're annoyed at so often. And I think that the weakness is more widespread even among ourselves than we realize, because we're not facing the pressures up in D.C., but a lot of us are caving to immorality and stuff we don't actually agree with in our normal lives. Meanwhile, we're sitting here judging the RINOs for being RINOs, but I don't think we have a place to judge them. We can complain about them, I guess, because it's a good thing to complain about. It's not a good thing to be a RINO, and it's destroying the country. But I think we're RINOs at heart, and so a lot of us. And so that's why there's so many RINOs, because it's the conservatives are weak. And a lot of people, for example, the alt-right, have rejected the RINOs, the Republican Party, as a whole in some cases, because they're so sick of the weakness. A lot of whites have just scorned what they call the cucks, the fake, weak, kiss-up whites. And we've seen a whole lot of kissing up. And the homosexuals ingratiated themselves with the friends and their families and get these people to agree with them when all this time leading up to it, they thought they disagreed with the homosexuals. All of a sudden, they're going along with it. And that's not love. That's fake. That's being controlled by emotions. And a whole lot of people are like that, and they don't even realize it until it happens to them. Obama did it with journalists and a whole lot of people. Obama was, a lot of these politicians, they use like charm or something like that. Bill O'Reilly, I remember hearing Bill O'Reilly, another podcast host. He knew that Obama was going to win because the day that he met him, he was going to question him on some controversial thing about Obama, and Obama was like, "Hey," and just totally ingratiated himself with O'Reilly, and O'Reilly was kind of taken aback. And he's like, "That guy's going to win the presidency," because he won over the journalists. Plus, he was black. And these journalists are so shallow. You hear them complaining to Trump about, "Oh, they said send her back. That's so sad. Are you going to tell them never to say that again?" There's males saying this and females. They're like, "So do you take back your tweet?" So stupid. But fortunately, Trump did kind of cave a little bit. Like, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't really like that. I didn't like it. I spoke up real fast afterwards," and he did. People try to act like he didn't, but you're standing there giving a speech. This chant is coming at you. You're realizing what they're saying, and he didn't like laugh or chuckle or anything. He just stayed his dignified face, and then he moved on, and it was a great chant in all honesty. And in the end, he stood by it, as you saw in this last clip in the Oval Office, when these stupid media people, they don't care about MS-13 killing the fellow illegals and some immigrants and some citizens. They don't care about anything. They just care about shallow stuff to take the president down, to keep their fake idea that racism exists and is a problem, and stupid stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that stuff. Trump is no RINO. He's no fake. Some people complain that he hasn't done anything, like about the immigration issue. It's not true, and I'll tell you why afterwards. But I'm going to get to some calls. You can call in 888-775. Let's see. 3773. Terrible. Follow the bouncing ball. Patrick from New York. Patrick, how are you?
Pretty good. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. How's it going?
Going fine. Thank you. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for holding, too.
Yeah, man. Crazy world today. I wanted to get your opinion on a tech censorship issue.
Okay, go for it.
So this is something I actually disagree with JLP on. I'm going to call him on it, too.
All right.
He thinks, based off all the bias, you see what's happening with PragerU and, I mean, you yourself, JLP.
Yeah.
Jesse says we should create our own platform.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, Facebook, Twitter, Google, they're almost like telephone lines of today. They're so dominant that I feel just like the telephone line has regulations they have to go through. Google, Twitter, YouTube, they control so much of communication today that it's almost necessary for the government to regulate just to ensure that they don't have a biased platform.
You might be right. I've heard this argument before. I get into some arguments with some of these guys. I just don't trust the government to do the right thing by us. You know, there's so much corruption, so many easy ways to manipulate this. The phone line is maybe trickier to get in and hack. I mean, it is done a lot, but it's not as, I mean, there are algorithms and things like that, stuff that people don't even understand. And these people who are running these companies don't even understand. And there's so much room for manipulation that it's a losing. To me, the solution is to change ourselves so that we can help inspire other people to change too. And that will change the culture more powerfully than some popular Facebook page, and or a million popular Facebook, YouTube, all those popular people. Because although Jesse has reached a lot of people through YouTube, and I appreciate YouTube for that, and even though they believe that everything is hate speech if it's talking about illegals or blacks or women or Muslims or anything that's not white, straight, Christian, conservative. So you can't talk about homosexuals either. Or, it's you have to change the culture. That's what the left has been doing for a long time. Is that side of evil has been changing the culture, and so that's why they have all this on their side. They have changed the institutions so that these people are brainwashed minions, meaning the education system. A lot of these people are educated, and that's partly where they get brainwashed. The parents are so weak, like I'm talking about with this RINO stuff. I think that's going to be the long-term goal. I don't mind Trump getting in on this and Ted Cruz and them. I would love for them to do that. Hey, I'll take it. I'm not like a ideologue where we say, oh, free market or nothing. Stupid stuff like that. I don't have a big opinion on it. Does that make sense?
Well, no. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be the best solution to regulate it explicitly. But at the very least, like, what they're doing, they're demonetizing you. They're demonetizing all these guys. You guys should have a Title VII claim of explicit discrimination, because it's not like I go to YouTube and I watch YouTube's channel. I watch your channel. My thing
is, man, that I wish we could bring back discrimination. I want discrimination for everybody. I think that it's wrong that they have these anti-discrimination laws. It's a violation, in my opinion, of the First Amendment. If they're going to say that we have a right of free association, which they ruled in speaking of white history, they ruled in the terms of like the NAACP versus Alabama that we have a right of freedom to associate and group up. If we have that right, then we have a right also to discriminate and not associate. But these people don't believe in discrimination because they believe in this false idea of racism, sexism, all that stupid stuff. So I want discrimination back. I mean, yeah, we can use it to our favor. Heck, you're in a fight. You use whatever tools and weapons you have. So sure, we can file for discrimination, but I wish we could bring back discrimination in all honesty. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't see how you could have someone going somewhere, creating value, and then their revenue stream being like denied based off their political views. You know what I'm saying? Like once you're conducting commerce with someone,
Yeah. It
You
is.
have to have some uniform, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's not like
It's kind
you're
of
going
intrusive.
to get a gay cake baked for you.
It's
like
definitely
you're producing value for them, and they're barring you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely intrusive. It's definitely like they are definitely discriminating against us based on politics because they don't believe. They think that, we know that liberals are hateful people. They think they believe that conservatives are hateful people, and some of us are, I guess, but that's not a reason to discriminate against us. But they do, and they kind of, they have the right. They definitely have the power to, and so we need to build up power as opposed to beg for rights. You know what I mean? I don't mind begging, but we need both. We need like everything.
Right.
So we need to fight for our lives and our country. To be a little melodramatic, but it's true, I think.
All right, man. No, I dig what you're saying, man. It's definitely not the ultimate solution in the least case.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Man.
Happy White History Month to you, Patrick.
Hey, man. Happy White History, man. Good stuff.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Awesome.
Sam, first-time caller out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind.
Hi.
Hey. Hey, nice to hear from you.
Sion, not Sam.
Oh, okay. Sion. Nice. Nice to hear from you. Cool.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for the support, as always.
No problem. I love you guys.
Yeah.
I just have a comment about the North Carolina.
Okay.
The crowd chanting, send her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
You did not?
I'm an immigrant and a big supporter of Donald Trump. I voted for him from 2015 when he started campaigning, when he announced.
Yeah.
I supported him. I voted for him, and I was very outspoken. Mm-hmm. And even on the job, I know that Jesse says don't talk politics on the job.
Yeah.
Right? But I used to, and they didn't care. They just tuned me out because they thought he wouldn't win. But he ended up winning, and I lost a lot of friends voting for him and supporting him.
Yeah.
I'm Ethiopian, and I came from, the right way. But it's just that it makes him and his supporters look bad when they chanted that.
How so?
I didn't like it. Yeah.
In what way did it make them look bad?
It seemed like it's we all, I'm an immigrant, and Donald's parents are immigrants too, right? Somehow. And it's just that
what does that chant? Hold on. What does that chant have to do with you and Donald's parents being immigrants?
It's just it has a lot to do with it.
Say that again.
Like all of us, they want us out because if you know, like you can see the media.
You said they want all of you out. That's what you think. That's what you think that chant meant.
Yeah, I just.
What gave you the idea that send her back means send all of them back? Send all the immigrants back. How did you jump to that conclusion?
Because we're immigrants, and it's like.
Do you hate the country?
In the right way, right?
Do you hate the country?
And.
Do you hate the country the way that Ilhan Omar does?
She came from Somalia, right?
No, yeah, I'm saying, do you hate the country like Ilhan Omar hates the country?
No.
Then they're not talking about you.
I'm so grateful.
So then they're not talking about you.
I know, but that's how the media will generalize it too. I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to take offense to it totally. I'm not.
But you shouldn't take offense to it at all because they're not talking about you or any immigrant other than the ones that hate the country.
Okay.
And the anchor babies who hate the country.
Look good is what I'm saying.
What?
For other immigrants to,
Say that again?
To see that. Because the majority are white.
Say it again?
That crowd. The majority are white.
What's that have to do with it?
It's just it just looks so bad. I'm not against the president at all. He didn't say it. He denounced it later on, right? It just looks bad is all I'm saying.
But it doesn't look bad. You're looking at it through liberal people's eyes. You're looking at it as though they're talking about all immigrants, and you're falling into the notion that white people talking about colored immigrants are talking about all of them.
Honestly,
and that's not true.
Yeah,
that's such a lie.
And honestly, yeah, I'm from Georgia, right? Racism to me, I follow what Jesse says, and he's right. It's between good and evil.
Yeah.
And it's just that I see a lot of hatred when, there's a lot of hate people who don't like black, and like black people don't like.
You're talking about whites. You're talking about whites. You're talking about whites who don't like blacks.
Yes. Yeah, they generalize. Like when they look at me, because I look a little Indian because we Ethiopians, we're mixed with everything.
Yeah.
They say, but when I have, curly hair or whatever, they just look down on you as if you're ratchet.
How do you know that they're looking down on you?
Black. You can tell by their face, and I've been.
I don't like how you're making assumptions about how people are looking at you, thinking that they're thinking something about you. A lot of times, I have friends like this, that they think that some people that they're looking down on you just by the way that they're looking at you. You're looking down on them by the way that they're looking down on you. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
You're looking down on them.
Don't like me too, but I know. I can't argue with you.
Yeah. But I'm telling you that chant was about Ilhan Omar. Nobody else.
No, you see, okay, with her, she's very ungrateful. I don't know who put her in government.
The stupid voters in Minnesota.
Huh?
The stupid voters in Minnesota. Many of them are immigrants too, and they're ungrateful people too. So she represents the ungrateful people that hate white people, that hate, So I don't recommend falling into this, believing that in appearances. You're following in the brainwashing.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Uh-huh.
I know that her status of immigration doesn't seem right, because her marrying her brother to get here maybe, or for visa, I don't know. But the president can investigate that, because she hates him so much. It's time to, look into her also. They're always criticizing him. It's time for him to take action and look into her situation. But right now, because of that chant, it's like it might be covered up for her somehow. I'm just saying.
No, don't fall for that stuff. You're falling for the false racism stuff.
Okay. Well, I said it. I got it off my chest.
All right. But you realize that they weren't talking about you. They weren't talking about you unless you're ungrateful or hate white people or something.
No. Yeah, I really don't really care. It's just it makes them look bad.
No, it doesn't make them look bad. It makes them look good. I love that chant.
He didn't say it.
No,
he didn't say it, but for them to say it,
I believe it was a great thing that they said it. I loved that they said it.
Yeah, I want her sent back, because she is ungrateful, and who knows, maybe she came and her status is not right. Something sounds.
In all honesty, they're not even necessarily saying that because they believe that he's going to send her back. They're just expressing their outrage that scumbags like this woman can come into the country and mess it up. And she's a hypocrite because she's not fixing Somalia. She doesn't fix her own Minneapolis or Minnesota is a horrible place. They're destroying the country. And white people are the first people who should be saying this stuff. And they shouldn't be ashamed about it. They should be glad. And they shouldn't judge or hate her stuff. But there's this undue judgment and hatred and suspicion of white people, to the point where you're even suspicious of white people just for looking at you funny. You notice you're judging them, like I said.
Okay.
You notice that, right?
Well, and I've seen friends experience stuff like
Everybody's experienced unfair treatment by everybody.
Too.
What?
Go back to India, one guy said to me.
So what, though?
It wasn't, he didn't know no better. He thought I was Indian. I was working at this job, and he told me, why don't you go back to India? Because I had to make him pay for something, and he didn't want to pay for.
See, that's what they do. That's what any person who's mad is going to do. If you're fat, they're going to say, shut up, fatso. If you look like a foreigner, they're going to say, go back to your country. And even fellow foreigners will say this to each other. Like I've said on my show, some Mexican people told one of my Chinese friends, go back to your country. And they're not in their country. Everybody's going to do that. So I don't believe in this bashing of white people.
The Mexicans. Okay.
See?
Yeah, they keep having babies after babies.
See, everybody generalizes. You're generalizing, right? Everybody does this.
No, it's
so
true.
there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing's wrong. Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with that chant. I loved that chant. I love how the media is freaking out about it. And it's time to awaken. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you're saying this because you're like a nice person. You're on the side of Jesse and Trump and what's right. And even you are falling for this. I'm glad that they said it so that they could tempt you to judge them so that you could realize that, no, they have the right to say that. And it was nice to say it. They're not thinking about you. They don't hate you. They can, if they see that you love the country and all that stuff, and you're not angry at white people or malicious towards whites, maybe you have a hang up here and there, but you can get past it and still be conservative and become a Christian and all that. Then they're happy with you here, I guess. Some may not be because they don't like how. Really don't. Some may not be because there's this reality that disproportionately white people vote conservative and disproportionately all the other races do not. And so that's a big reason why they don't like all these people coming in, and that's the big reason why all the Democrats pretend to like the colored people. But they don't like them either. They just use them. And they kiss up and they have this fake niceness. And a whole lot of whites are becoming this way too, and that's why we're losing the country. But you should be on the side of those whites saying send her back. And even if like they don't send her back, I don't care. They need to show that evil is not welcome. Make evil unwelcome again. I got a sneak peek at Jesse Lee Peterson has an article coming out in World Night Daily. He has an article out in World Night Daily every week. I got a sneak peek at it. He said that Trump is making evil unwelcome again. And that's nice. He says as long as I'm president, these people cannot get away with hating our country. And I love that. People say, "Oh, that's against the Constitution." And I don't care. I like him because he's a man, and that's what men should do, especially white American men should stand up like that.
But it's just that I think that the president should just, AOC plus 3, he needs to ignore them and not even tweet about them and just forget them. They're irrelevant. I mean, the people can see that. They're already supporting him. More people, I'm sure the Democrats, they're waking up too because they see how hateful they are. And they're, Ilhan, she's anti-Jew, right? And he could just, and then now because of what I think, I'm telling you. What you're saying, I listen to you, but that chant, it just makes some people uncomfortable, and
I don't mind it making them uncomfortable. I hope that they'll call into the Jesse Lee Peterson show and my show and all that, so that they can realize that people should not feel comfortable here. They should only feel comfortable if they love the country, and if they love white people, and not be suspicious of white people.
It's just, I think, I'm not against anybody as far as Donald Trump's supporters.
Yeah.
It's just that, okay, I don't want him to be looked at bad because of them, you know?
Hey, there's always going to be that. You can't control it, because look at Jesse's supporters. Look at Trump supporters. There's always going to be imperfect people supporting perfect people.
Yeah.
You can't really control it. You're no angel yourself, you know. Like everybody's got issues that they have to deal with and overcome. You can't be judging the man based on the follower. Followers are losers.
Yes, I don't. I was a big fan of Donald Trump way before he became. I mean, he's not a racist at all. He supported Mike Tyson when he was falsely accused.
He's a man. Yeah, that's nice. I love that.
For him.
Yep.
Yeah, he stood up for him when no black rapper or anybody stood up.
Yeah, so and he stood by Kanye too when everybody was. It was so popular to talk trash about Kanye from both sides, and that's a side that that's when you see that. That's why I don't go for this Epstein thing. Both sides are jumping on Epstein, right? And or Harvey Weinstein. I don't go for that because everybody else is already bashing them, for one. And two, I'm not going to join in the left on anything that they're doing. You do your thing. I'll call out evil my own way. And as long as we're evil, we're
anybody with Donald, because I love what he says. I voted because, especially with the Obamacare, because we had to,
Obama doesn't care.
Downsized because they had to pay a lot of tax.
Yeah.
The reason why I voted for Donald also is everything because of everything that he stands for. Loved him since The Apprentice.
Nice.
But especially with the Obamacare.
Right on, Sion. Sion, I gotta go. Nice talking with you. I'm so glad that you called with this.
Nice talking.
This was a great point. Don't feel bad that I yelled at you. Because I think it's really good because there are a lot of people who think like that, and so it's a great opportunity to address it because there are decent people that fall for it, and it's easy to forget. All right, Sion, take care.
All right, you too. Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye. Willie out of North Carolina. Willie, how are you?
Hello.
Hey.
I'm good. Good. How are you? Happy White History Month.
Thank you. Happy White History Month to you. Happy White History Month, Sion. I forgot to tell you.
The last caller she started to make me a little angry. But She kind of saved herself.
Good. Yes.
Started to come back around.
Yeah. I realize that we gotta cut each other's slack, allow each other to be wrong, because each culture too, you'll notice. Because she comes from an Ethiopian American culture, right? And then we are white Americans, I believe. And then there's blacks, and each one has their own issues that are prominent among their people, and they're gonna have blind spots that you don't have, and maybe we'll have blind spots that they have. I don't know.
Right. Well, this Omar.
Yeah.
Lady, she's got a lot of brass and boldness and once she's been exposed that she's married to her brother, she should be charged as a sex offender and living in the United States.
No. So the speculation about the brother thing, because I looked into it just briefly just to get the backstory. She was already married culturally to her real husband, had some kids, and then the speculation is that she was in this country as a refugee since 12 or something, and then she married her brother. That's what they allege, in order so that the brother could come from Somalia. And I saw one person make the point, I would do that too, to save him from Somalia, because Somalia is not that nice of a place.
It's a shithole country.
Whoa. Not only is this Sunday, church day, but this is also a family show.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries, man. But just don't do it again. But, it is that, though. You're right. And so, that's what the speculation is that she did that in order to get him over here. I don't think that she had sex with her brother, man. Anyways. But that's really beside the point. I don't care what she did. I care what she is that I can see. And you can plainly see that she is
She hates
evil.
America.
Yeah, she's an SJW. And not only that, she's a Muslim with a head rag, as Jesse calls it, SJW. And those people are so anti-American. And
her daddy's the devil, as Jesse says.
Yeah. And her mama.
She's a bad person, but
yeah. I like her accent though.
Trump's going to win 2020, and the country's heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
And so I just believe that God's got in control, and everything's going to go how it's supposed to go as long as Trump's in power.
It's nice that he is in power, and like I just want, because I remember people really loved Reagan, and since then we've taken a major dive. So I don't want the same thing to happen again, where like what happened to the Israelites in the Bible, where they would have a good king and they would do well, they'd get comfortable, and then they'd have a horrible king, and then all the people would be corrupt too. And it would just go like this, and they just get worse and worse and worse, to where God had to send Jesus to save them, and many of them still weren't saved.
Right.
So I hope that the people can wake up, which they are. A lot of them are, because he's setting a really good example. Other people are too. And
like I said, I went to the Trump rally here in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, that was you.
Yeah, that was me. And
did you send her back?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Of course I did.
Were you talking about Sion?
Yeah.
You were? Wait, you're supposed to say no.
There were thousands of Trump supporters inside and outside, and the CNN and the other fake news media was only covering about 30 Antifa and Trump haters outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was way more Trump supporters and Trump followers.
Yeah.
Inside and outside, it was amazing.
That is nice.
Yeah, it was amazing. So, but just by the outcome here in North Carolina, Trump's already won 2020. It's amazing.
That is cool. That is refreshing.
Happy History Month, man.
Thank you. Same to you. By the way, when you chanted, let me ask you, because I want to get a solid answer, a clear answer. When you chanted, "Send her back," were you talking about my previous caller, Sion?
No, we was talking about Omar.
Okay.
That's what I was talking
about.
What
about colored immigrants of color? Were you talking about all of them?
No, not at all.
All right.
No,
cool.
I wasn't talking about immigrants of color.
All right. Cool. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, you have a good day, man. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, man. Make sure you catch church with Jesse Lee Peterson in
yes, sir.
An hour and 20 minutes. All right. Take care.
Okay.
Bye. Maze, my favorite caller out of Dayton, Ohio. Maze, how are you?
Hello, James.
Hey, nice to hear from you. Happy White History Month.
I have 3 questions for you.
Okay.
So at first it started off with more than one person to go back. Then it ended up with one person to go back. So what's good about saying send her back? What's good about it?
It's good because the people are standing up and fighting for their country and speaking their mind. And white people have a major problem with not speaking their mind. And meanwhile, they let their families go to hell. They let their country go to hell. And it's nice to hear people speak their mind again. So, and then send her back specifically. Send her back specifically is a great thing to say, because we don't want these people here. We don't want them to feel welcome. We want them to be ashamed of stuff that they should be ashamed of. And so that's nice.
Because see, when I hear people do stuff like that, it's just spreading hate and
no,
just like the guy that just
that's not hate.
The one that just hung up, and we want Omar to go back.
Yeah.
He don't have a reason because he was told to say that. He send that chanting. So if we want to look at it that way, what about the president's wife, sister, her mother, and her father?
Those people love America.
They didn't have to do the citizenship thing and do all of this like she did. And then when you say she married her brother,
I don't care about that.
Like, let's hate Omar because we were told to. We got to go sit up in a place and chant, send her back. She's not the only people you tell to go back.
Hey, nobody has to tell anybody to hate Omar. She's a hateful person. Nobody has to be told. Yes, she is.
So if she would have turned around and said the same thing to the people telling her to go back, it's like, you were thrown out of a country. Why don't you go back to where you came from? You don't have any right to tell anybody to go back when you were not here.
They have a right to say that. We have a freedom of speech in this country. We have the.
You want to say she was married to her brother? I'm saying the hate.
I don't care about the brother thing.
Why?
Why?
You should sit down and wonder why. That's why the dinosaurs was taken off of this earth.
Excuse me. Huh?
So if God takes people off the earth for being evil, that's what's going to happen. And then
sometimes he does.
Other people don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
They're just going to be happy people as if they were happy every day than to see the ones that spread hate and hate people, how people hate people.
It's an expression of, hey, Maze, it's an expression of love for the country to say send her back. Send her back. That's love for the country.
What makes you think that she don't love this country just as much as you do?
Because I know that she does. Well, I don't know if I love the country. I don't know if I have love in my heart. But she does not love the country. She has fake love. She is an SJW. SJWs. Hold on. SJWs hate America. They hate what's right. And she's a Muslim with a head rag.
She's a Muslim, and she's a Muslim living in this country just like Christians.
Yeah, but Muslims don't have love because they don't know Jesus.
Do you live with one? Have you been around one?
I don't have to. I know from the Bible.
Excuse me?
I know from the Bible. The Bible says.
You know from the Bible. What about it?
That Jesus brings love. Nobody else has it.
Jesus brings love. All God's children. All of God's children.
What?
So you're trying to say?
Hey! That's not God's children. That's Satan's daughter. That's Satan's daughter.
No, that's not Satan's daughter. So if you want.
Yeah. How do you know? How do you know that that's not Satan's daughter?
His wife and how they got here. Huh? I don't hate them because they didn't go through it the same.
No, it doesn't matter how she got here. It's that you know what? I want the communist Antifa people to get out of the country too. Yeah, thankfully, one committed suicide by cop, and he got out of the country by leaving the world.
But what I'm saying, you talking about Jerry Von Barton, but guess the one that committed the crime is still here committing crimes.
No, so he killed him. He got himself killed. He committed suicide by cop. He's still walking around
committing crimes. The person that killed Trayvon Martin is still walking around committing crimes.
No, I don't know what crimes. I don't know. You're making that's slander. You're slandering George Zimmerman. You're slandering a white Hispanic man.
So you keep saying he's a white Hispanic man. It's just like the guy that you were talking about, the one that's from Canada.
Because Hispanics have a different culture from normal whites, non-Hispanics.
Normal whites.
Yeah.
It's not about Caucasians. It's about people. That's
exactly.
Jealousy.
And that's why Ilhan Omar has to go back.
To you like this.
Huh?
So everybody got to share in this world and in this country.
No, we don't have to share this. No, we don't have to share this country.
Share with just one group of people telling other people what to do, you're never going to make it because it's going to be destroyed.
I mean, we got to check ourselves too.
So you should get it through.
All right. I think that's.
If you're a bunch of flowers and you're growing together in all different colors, things work.
Cool.
And then when you're one flower trying to grow by itself, it die at the root, and that be the end of it.
All right.
So that's y'all choices y'all make and there's nothing good about what you're saying about chant go back. So
no, that's fine. That's a good chant. That was a beautiful, wonderful, loving chant. Love for America.
It's like when you got upset with the French.
And some of them, okay, I'll grant you this, Mace. Some of them may hate Ilhan Omar. They shouldn't hate her, but she still has to go back.
And why would she have to go back?
Because she hates the country and she hates white people. Would you want white? Would you? Okay, Mace, answer me honestly. Do you think people should be hating white people? Calling them racist and all this mess?
People shouldn't be hating anybody at all. That's what I think.
Thank you.
White people shouldn't hate, and Caucasians shouldn't hate, and black people
and how about Ilhan Omar?
People shouldn't hate. Muslims shouldn't hate. Christians
hold on.
shouldn't hate.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All in the name of Jesus.
How about Ilhan Omar? Should Ilhan Omar hate white people, Christians?
Ilhan Omar hate white people.
Huh?
She haven't said nothing and showed nothing of her. She hate white people.
All of a sudden, you don't see the hatred. But you see the hatred then when white people talk.
But
you only see hatred from white people. Wow, what a terrible example. Anyways, Mace, I gotta go.
Jane, wait a minute. Answer my question.
All right.
Did the president say he hated somebody?
I don't know.
Yes, he did. Go back to his speech. He said he hated some rich man, and he was rich just like him, and he hated him, and he hated him, and he could break him. And listen, go back and listen to it. Is that a threat or what was that?
That's fine. That's cool.
Okay.
As long as the man. Yeah, that's okay. That's a good kind of hate.
I mean, y'all hate.
That's a good kind of hate.
And he should stop being jealous of Obama because he'll never move Obama guy around the world. So
that's ridiculous. That's the most silly thing that you said.
Excuse me, he'll never get it. And
anyways,
Carolina ain't for no Trump. Carolina
she actually believes. Well, I don't
I'm
believe
gonna leave
she
it like
believes
that.
this.
If you
She
hate,
said
you
that
hate.
Trump
That's
is
y'all problem.
jealous
That's
of
something y'all gotta deal with.
Obama. All right, Mace, take care.
And tell people to stop messing with people that's not bothering him. And you got this one man going to a grocery store
Come on.
and wanting to go back where she came from.
Ilhan Omar is in the country bothering everybody.
Ilhan Omar is in this country because God sent her to this country, and that's why she's here.
Her God.
She see it as a blessing
All right.
to be here. That's why she ran for office and doing what she's doing, and the people that sent her there
Use brain power.
Complain about it.
Use
y'all
brain
need to
power.
Stop, just like you got mad about French fries.
What's gamma, Jeanette?
You remember when they got upset about French fries, James?
Freedom fries. Maze, we're going all over the place. I gotta go.
So have a good day.
All right, you too. So, let me keep moving. Russell, first time caller out of Indiana. How are you doing, Russell?
Good. How are you doing, James?
Fine, thank you.
Hey, happy White History Month to you.
Thank you. Same to you, man. It's so nice.
Yeah, I'm just weighing in on this Representative Omar. Everybody, we're all talking about it.
Yeah.
My question is, how did she become the Congresswoman of the state of Minnesota to begin with?
It's a
if
good
everybody
question.
knows that she's Muslim from another country, how did she get voted in as a representative of that state? How did that work?
Yeah. We shouldn't allow refugees to become citizens. They need to go back and stop being refugees. It's ridiculous. She is 35 or something years old, and she's been here for 20 some years, and she Somalia is still a mess. I mean, that's not a good sign. And I heard that America is in it, not doing much. But anyways.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, okay. So my question is, so she's been here 20 years, okay, from Somalia,
at least.
however she got here.
Yep.
Okay, and she becomes a citizen. Even though she's a citizen, if I remember correctly, when you become a citizen through the process, you're not a full-fledged citizen. You're still a citizen under
naturalized,
certain,
right? Naturalized. You're not a natural born.
You're naturalized or an immigrant from another country.
Yeah.
Right. So there's two ways about it. Now, I thought that anyway to become any kind of congressperson, whether you be a man, woman, whatever it is you are, I'm gonna say congressman because that's
right.
That's just the
nice.
term
I agree
I've
with you.
always used.
Yep. A congressman. Yep. Female congresswoman. Men.
I say congressman. Right.
Me too.
Okay. So I'm still can't get past the fact is how she's not a natural citizen. How did she become a congressman for the state of Minnesota? And how did so many people in the state of Minnesota vote for her to begin with?
Yep.
How many? My question is, how many people is in the state of Minnesota?
I don't know. Too many brainwashed ones, though.
Yeah, well, that's probably true, but I
and
don't think
I bet you it's a lot of people like her who came as refugees and immigrants and all that stuff. And I believe that there's a big Muslim and black Muslim presence in that state.
Yeah, but not the whole state. I mean, there's got to be several million people who live in the state of Minnesota.
Okay, the other thing is,
what is our basic demographics? Our basic demographics is 80% white, at least.
No, man, it's not.
Then people of all other races here.
You talking about in Minnesota?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what the demographics are like.
I don't know either. I'm just throwing a number out there, but I'm just trying to figure it out. Is why?
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know that the other thing is the so-called immigrants and their children are not the only ones brainwashed against America. A whole lot of there's the whole education system is brainwashing everybody's children to be liberal.
I get that. I know all the colleges and the high schools.
The culture is
and the
corrupt.
Schools are all teaching our kids today to be so inclusive of everything.
And the parents are weak too, man.
And to hate ourselves in the process.
And then the parents, the white Christian straight parents, are weak too. They're not raising the kids right. They're messing up. They're corrupting the kids, and then they go out in the world and they get even more corrupt.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't reflect well on America that these people. I think the presidency is to answer your question about the natural born thing. I think the presidency is the only office that I know of that you have to have been born in this country in order to become to hold that office.
Really?
I think the other ones you don't have to have been born here. Well, vice president, yeah, of course. But
I thought it was anybody that held a position of
unfortunately not
power.
Yeah, it's not the case.
I mean, I could be wrong though, and I might be wrong about that. I'm not sure.
I think they just have to be a citizen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just a citizen, whether you're a natural or an immigrant.
Right.
Either way, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of sad because we allow that, but that's our founding fathers. I guess they allowed that to happen. So. But even
that's just a technical, physical thing. Like we need to really address the culture issue, not just the culture, the spiritual issue. Yeah.
I mean, I think the culture war right now is so far out of kilter. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yep. Everybody's hating the Christians and Jews for nothing. I mean, there's nothing to be hated about, but they hate them anyways, just because I guess they're taught that.
Yeah, and then the other thing is like the Christians and the whites, they are. They are, and the men are kind of weak, and weakness just invites bullying and hatred and maliciousness.
Well, they're weak because the laws of the land.
No, it's not the laws. It's not the laws. Yeah, the laws are against us. Yes, you're right, but that's not the reason that they're weak. I just mean personality-wise, they're weak. They don't have courage. They don't have moral strength. Even though they are conservative, they vote correctly. But there are so-called Christians. They try to do the right thing, but it's not real, and that's partly why they're hated too.
I think what causes that to happen is that we listen to our radios and televisions every day, and everybody says that the white man is wrong about this, the white man's wrong about that, the white man's wrong about this and that.
Yep.
And that goes on 24/7.
I know.
and then everybody listens to that and they go, oh, well, the white man is wrong, so we got to bash the white man.
I got to go, Russell. It's nice talking with you, man. Take care.
Hey, nice talking with you, too.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Bye. Anissa, out of Victorville, California, first-time caller. Anissa, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but thanks for calling.
Anissa.
Anissa.
Short I.
I'm brainwashed. I'm like traumatized by the Mexicans. They always pronounce it with
my grandpa has an accent, so he calls me Anissa, but it's Anissa.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to say that I agree with the chant, send her back. I'm irritated at Fox News for all the anchors on there trying to be like, it was wrong for the president to not stop it and all of these things. And he apologized and it's still not good enough. They're like, he let it go for 13 seconds.
I know.
He should have never walked back.
I agree.
I think,
Look, talking about these, so-called conservatives who are saying that it was an error because 3 of them were born here. That's not what they're touting. They're not touting the fact that they were born in this country. When they got elected, they were elected as the first Muslim woman in Congress, or women in Congress, and the first Palestinian or Pakistani, whatever she is, and she's Somali. They're touting the fact that AOC has, Puerto Rican roots and is Hispanic. They're the shallow ones, and then when we point it out, they say, "Oh no, we're Americans. We're natural-born Americans." No, you pick and choose your stuff. You got to go back there if you want to brag about where you came from, as though that's a merit to why you were elected. It's shallow stuff, so you got to.
They go back and forth from saying that, these are wonderful places of rich culture. To say, like, these people need our help. They're suffering. And it's such hypocrisy all the time, constantly. I was, a liberal. I hated Trump in 2016. I avoided my brother because he was going to vote for him. And I did, my research. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I have time to do it. And I was just shocked by everything, and within a year I'm just like, it's like 3 years later now, but I'm like far right now. No, I'm just kidding.
That's cool.
I mean, it's just really crazy to see how brainwashed, like how successful they were at brainwashing all of us, especially millennials. You know, my mom used to talk about patriotism. My mom's white, my dad's Mexican. He was born here and everything, but his dad's from Mexico.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were raised pretty conservative and everything, and I just remember feeling like I hated America so much, and it's all because of the education system. It's because of the pop culture and the media and what they tell us, and you know, parents giving their children to the world instead of parenting them.
Yeah.
It's really sad to see, and it's continuing. My 15-year-old niece says the same thing. Like, she's like, oh, yeah, you know, America's bad and racist. And I'm like, you know what I love about America? The fact that we can flush toilet paper down the toilet. Because in Mexico, you can't do that.
Wow.
And white people built that plumbing, you know? I mean, I'm not, like, going to worship people or anything like that, but I am so grateful for white people and my white ancestors. And I hope that all the, you know, Mexicans and Guatemalans and all the people that I can also identify with, I also feel for them. I hope they stand up in their own countries and fight back and take their country back.
Yeah, that would be nice. And I think that Trump doing what he's doing will kind of force that to happen. We, like, tough times force people to eventually kind of buck up and do right. I was talking with one friend of mine who lost his internet, and he said after he lost his internet, he started working out more, taking care of stuff, getting out, and it was like a good thing. So he realized that there was an area of his life that was lacking because he was being spoiled by this stuff that, you know, America is a spoiling type of a country right now. Say that again?
I was telling my husband, I want to get a Nokia phone. I'm tired of these iPhones. I'm like, I just want to check out. Like, now that I'm awake, like, you know, I feel like I'm much more confident now than when I was a liberal and happier and peaceful. And it's awesome. And now I'm just ready to, like, live it, you know, and be outspoken. I was afraid to be outspoken, and now I'm, you know, like, I mean, when I first started supporting Trump, I didn't want anybody to know. Because when I was a liberal, I was insane, and I was worried that people were disagreeing with me.
Man.
But, you know, I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm, like, what it is about girls, and I'm like, am I easily manipulated or something? but I'm like, maybe. I really do want to fight for all of that. I want to, you know, I want to stand up for the country. I love the country. I love Trump, and I'm excited to see, you know, his support rise, because there's plenty of us like me who, you know, started supporting him after he was elected. So I think that he's going to win in a landslide. And
cool.
I did call about Ilhan Omar. I just wanted to say,
okay, real fast.
Should watch.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. People should watch that interview that she was talking about, you know, comparing America to Al Qaeda and all. People should watch it in its entirety, because it's even worse than just the small little clip. And he does hate America. It's clear.
Thank you, Anissa.
You should go back.
I will check that out.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Anissa. Happy White History Month to you.
Happy White History Month. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Let me quickly read some super chats and D Live shout outs. I do have super chats because I'm not demonetized. YouTube doesn't know about me. Let's see. Noah's Ark, Kansas says Obama loaded a congressional district with Somalis. Yeah. Jimmy DM, Ninjagini, thank you, Jimmy DM. Happy White History Month. Happy belated birthday. Been on travel. Sorry I missed your birthday. No worries, man. I appreciate the constant support all the time. Let me get to super chats. Elvis Small, thank you. He Black says Georgia Representative Erica Thomas equals Juicy Salette 2.0 fake news. I heard about that. I heard Cernovich was tweeting about it. He Black said she immigrant, referring to Sion, but we love her. He Black says this isn't about race. Maze, you emotional black woman. He said it. I didn't talk about black people. He Black says, how many Muslims did you see celebrating July 4th? Hey, good question. Thank you, He Black, for all the support. And I know that I have a couple more D Lives. And callers, Marge and Chris from Arizona, Miguel from Illinois, Marge from South Carolina, and all you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't get to you. Noah's Ark, Kansas said, this woman is on point, amazing caller. Might not have, I don't remember who that was about. Army Ann says, happy birthday, James. And so thank you guys. Tune in to Church with Jesse Lee Peterson in less than an hour, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 12 Mountain Daylight Time, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Rebuildingtheman.com/church and Bond Rebuilding the Man YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Take care. ND Live and Periscope JLP Talk. Jesse Lee Peterson. Bye.